Once again, game number 1, Strongholds on the rig. We'll move over to Slayer. Regret. CTF Truth could be the end of the series if one team is able to win in 3. However, if not, we'll go to Slayer on Empire. And lastly, we will go to, I believe, a Kali CTF, and they'll be swapped.
Yeah. It's gonna
get it right next time, folks. Here we go into the game. Strongholds on the rig, going to be game number 1. Like you said, infused best game type, but Splyce coming in with the number 1 seed. Here we go, kicking it off.
Yeah, it's time to get into this one. I'm very excited for this game. Of course, if you're sat at home at the moment, get your phone out. Make sure you're tweeting those streams. Let's get some eyes in here because we're going to start off this game through the eyes of Shotzi.
All right, of course, right here, just chilling with the railgun. Like this play, but looks like a lot of pressure there coming in from Eco. So he's just going to play this slow. Does a nice job just backing nice and neat into Tower 2. He's going to pick off kills here one by one. What he wants to do on set here is just stay alive. He has help coming in. Oh, but a little early pressure here. So Infused off to a decent start.
Yeah, Infused very good with their rotations on this game type. And we're actually going to watch some point of view from Mose here because I was actually interested that he's actually got that scatter shot. He's a very good player with his scatter shot on rig. Always takes very smart routes, and you'll very rarely actually see him sprinting around with it as well. Likes to stay disguised on that radar. You can see his teammates now Infused. They're working towards that BR base. Yes, early pressure was in the hands of Splyce, but now a stronghold each. Splyce do have 2 of the strongholds and will be scoring, but we're going to see Infused with that rotation. If Mose can hit this shot, then he might have the opportunity to maybe take that basement, but doesn't make it happen. Now Kimbo with the railgun. 2 power weapons early in the hands of Infused.
Double kill there from Kimbo. So a little bit of maybe miscommunication there. You just saw Mose actually dropping down, right, and didn't know that there was a player with them in basement, but Kimbo cleaning up. He's just gotten 3 kills. Does get rushed, though, so great pressure out of Splyce. But look at this now here on the scoreboard. It's going to be 11-1, and it looks like Infused will start putting a few points on the board.
Yeah, they will, and you can see those big plays from Kimbo allowed Respectful to actually move towards that nest and complete that capture of the nest. So it's going to be the guys from Team Infused. They are down at the moment, but look at this. A triple cap in effect here for Team Infused. Stella's going to try and catch the player off guard here. Does miss it. Doesn't have any weapons to work with, but does have a left fist, the trusty left fist, to finish off Mose there and take him out of the game.
Anyone watching there knew that Stellar only had 2 shots of scatter left and no railgun ammo, so he had to get close, but now he's getting creative and crafty there. Also picks up the stick with the plasma here, but look at the scoreboard. It's crazy to say Infused actually they're off to a lead in this game here.
Yeah, and a lot of the times we've actually seen Team Infused in the past win this game, even though they're not outslaying their opponents. But one thing they need to stop if they're going to stop this Splyce team is Shotzi getting away with power weapons. He has the railgun for the 2nd time in the game. Kills are going to be traded here in the feed, but a double kill from Jimbo here is going to create some opportunity to push on the map, but goes for a bit of an overzealous challenge there.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Down.
Jim, of course, such a great player with a fantastic shot, but that might have been, as you say, a bit of an overextension from him. Could have stayed alive there simply up top and waited for teammates, but as a result of the last few plays, 23-16 is the score in favor of Splyce, and if Infused isn't careful right here, Splyce could really start to run away with this.
Yeah, very true, and we've seen the power weapons, and now the power-up, of course, in the hands of Eco. 2-4 for Team Infused here, and you're immediately going to see the pressure now coming from Splyce. You're going to have Eco and a teammate here, both taken down to low shields, but Shotzi picking up that kill on the BR base is going to turn that one over to Splyce. Now, we saw Team Infused early on with a triple cap for a small amount of time. This is the first time we've seen Splyce have it. How long can they hold on to this?
Yeah, it might be a dangerous amount of time, of course, but the way that they're playing, they might even be able to hold this triple cap for a good bit, especially Eco running around with camo like this. Look at the perfect movement from the back cat over here, over to mid, is able to clean up that kill with ease and use that camo so well to just anchor down the back. And right now, score is going to be 45-16. And Jimbo does get the melee on Eco, who may have preemptively gone for that melee attack. And Infused once again scoring, much in part thanks to a double there from Jimbo.
Yeah, Jimbo opening up the map there for Team Infused, winning that 1v1 battle, landing the beatdown. And now we're going to see change of strongholds again. Rotations coming in from both teams. We're going to have Jimbo with a 1v1 here, but you can see in the kill feed again, Shotzi has that scatter shot. One thing Team Infused are usually so good at on this game type is controlling those power weapons and those power-ups. They seem to be losing that battle at the moment. Maybe Coach Havoc needs to keep an eye on those times a little bit more, but Splyce are doing a fantastic job of rotating. But here comes Jimbo, lands the beatdown. 2 dead here for Splyce, and it's going to be Infused to carry on scoring.
And look, Jim doing very well to try to stay alive here, anchoring down. I think he is, yes, indeed, going to get them the rail. Oh, no! Goes for what looked like a YY, but does recover there, but he eventually will fall. So you see him right there pointing to his screen, letting his teammates know as they look left and right on his screen to clean up those kills exactly where the rail fell. But look at that, for a moment there, Infused with a trip cap once again.
Yeah, Infused and the barrel starting to work together at the moment. That magical 5th player that they picked up, and now Respectful from Team Infused. We talk about how good this man is. at Halo 5, 41 to 48. Camo and Railgun in the hands, and Kimbo getting that opening kill in that team fight is going to allow Team Infused to push potentially this triple cap. Decided not to let go of the Railgun there. Not sure about that one.
I don't know.
Looked like a pretty easy
What
kill,
is he
but
doing?
now he's playing Dipsy Doodles, trying to stay alive.
Oh, man. All right.
Teammate
So,
comes in and finishes it off, though.
geez, making me nervous here. Respectful, choosing, like you said, not to let that railgun go in a scenario which I was certain he was going to let that rip. Had totally uncontested Camo just airing over someone, but he makes it work, and that's why he's on the stage and I'm here in the casting booth, because their team is still winning 54 to 48, still has a shot in the rail, and still a little bit left in this Camo as it ticks down.
Yeah, very, very true. And now we're going to see 2 kills actually go in the hands of Splyce. Respectful again,
the
doesn't let
cancels.
go of that railgun. It seems like he's got a little bit of a light finger on his trigger or something at the moment. Turns it over to Stella. Renegade picks up another kill. Team Infused still scoring at the moment, though. We do see the scoring now change over into the hands of Splyce. But what was an impressive early lead coming in from the guys on Splyce now been turned around. The score is 61, a 10-point lead here for the guys on Infused. But the kills all going in the hands of Splyce. That's going to be a 4 dead. And now they're going to go for that triple cap, and they're looking for blood.
Yes, indeed. Infused is going to have to answer back, and quick after this. Like you said, total control. They're going to tie up the game within seconds here. It's about to be, I believe, as you see, at 59 to 61, just a second, they'll take the lead. Tied at 61. So right now, Infused desperately needs to answer back. We see 2 kills coming in from each side, and that's strong defense here from Splyce.
Yeah, big reset coming in from Stella there, but Kimbo drops the star on him there with that perfect kill. We're going to earn himself a POV as well. Going to have 2 grenades coming in towards him, but aggressively challenges, finds a scatter shot. No fear shown from Kimbo, and this is exactly what I mean. Kimbo shows no respect to the people he is playing against. He'll play against them like he's playing in his bedroom. He's just taken down one of the best players in the world there. Charged him. Mose now has the railgun. Infused have the advantage.
Indeed, railgun, like you said, in hands of Mose. But the lead has slipped away, however, for Infused. They're going to be looking to, if they can, push out and keep control of this back row. Looks like no shot there. Looks like you see a player pointing to the screen, so they might be slowing down. We'll have to see. Looks like they're going to go ahead and get that match perhaps restarted. We'll have to hear from the station official on exactly what the call will be. But I will say there was a few railgun questionable cancels, but that one looked like it should have hit. So in this case, looks like they're going to have to go ahead and get the word down from station referees on exactly what transpired. But as you said, Infused isn't messing around here on this game type. If I had to guess, Splyce was looking pretty good there towards the end, but Infused, if there's one game type they can put up a fight in, it's this one, and they're showing it here.
Yeah, very much so. We saw real back and forth between the 2 teams there. And the thing that always sort of shows to me how closely matched 2 teams are is when one team has a triple cap is how long they can hold that for. And we saw it was only moments really in that game from both sides, which means that both teams understand when they're in that triple cap how to get out of that triple cap and when they need to prioritize their kills on the map and in order to stem the bleeding and get control back.
And you can also bet that because the teams know that their triple cap time is limited, right? They're also going to be very selective on when they push those triple caps. Instead of, whereas in matchmaking, you can kind of risk those triple caps, or maybe against a lower tier team, you can go for those triple caps in scenarios where you absolutely should have. But you can tell there's a mutual respect from these 2 sides because, of course, extending into that triple cap potentially can very quickly be an overextension. You can lose control of the entire map within moments if you play that wrong.
Yeah, it's very true. And Strongholds is one of the most unforgiving game types we have in Halo 5 as well. You make a couple of mistakes, that costs you 30 or 40 points, even in a double or a triple cap. So you really do need to prioritize the situations that you're going for. If you're in a triple cap, you need to get those initial kills so that you can recapture that initial stronghold without coming under too much fire. And both of these teams seem very well versed at doing that. And I think the start of that game, we talked about how Infused were going to match up against Splyce. And, they've come out the gates there and they've shown that they can hang in that game type. So that's going to give them a little bit of confidence. And on the other side of things, might wake Splyce up a little bit. I'm not sure that we'll see such a close game in this replay.
It might be a repeat of what we saw in Series number 1. You're right, indeed. Splyce, they're certainly going to have their critiques of that gameplay. I think Infused will as well. However, I think the Splyce guys on their side are likely talking about, hey, they want to change things. They don't even want to let Splyce take the lead in this game. They don't even want to let Infused take the lead in this game. So that's what Splyce is going to say. But I'd be very impressed if Infused can come out just as strong in this game as well.
Yeah, it's very, very true. And I just want to talk a little bit about some of the, we'll call inverted commas, drama that might have happened on this Infused lineup. I think a lot of maybe our North American people who are watching at the moment who don't follow European Halo quite as closely will be interested to know that, yes, DreamHack Denver, it was sunshine and butterflies. Infused were great, but Infused actually dropped Jimbo a couple of weeks, so about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Right.
They decided that they wanted to make a team change. They actually picked up 2 Foxy to replace him. They played 1 2K with him. It didn't go well, which is the nice way that I'm going to say it. And then they picked Jimbo back up. So there were some question marks about it, but I think they made the right choice. They decided to pick him back up as we're actually going to jump into another side station match here and keep the action coming for you at home.
That's right. This is Novacore Gaming versus Finessing Fools. So we're getting some open bracket action here on the stage for you. Try to get you some information on the series score as well as the players on these squads, but jumping on board with them now here in this match on Strongholds. But as we said, these two teams, you just saw them right there talking to the station referee, likely team captains discussing with that station official on exactly what the restart criteria will be for that match. So as soon as that main stage match is back on, we'll be back into that action with you.
Yeah, it's very true, and it's always good to show a little bit of open bracket action. I mean, people who might be sat at home watching, you know, you're always seeing these big games, you're looking forward to it, but there's a lot sort of under the belly of these tournaments that we don't get to bring you at home a lot of the time. So it's always good to see some of these teams who have made their way out, you know, paying their own way here, and good to get them on stream and give them a little bit of love, because these guys, they really do prop up all of these teams that are at the top.
Yes, indeed. I believe 88 teams is the final number in the room here, so quite a few hungry teams looking to make a name for themselves. Of course, everyone in the open bracket desperately trying to find a spot in this champ bracket. There'll be many, many teams they have to go through. Of course, 3 glorious days of Halo 5 action coming up.
Yeah, it's very, very true, and it's a very stacked open bracket as well. You've got to remember there's some teams in there like Fire Gaming, you know, you've got the likes of Suspector and Commonly playing together. You've got Baby J in there. You've got obviously the 2 top European teams as well that are in there. It's not a nice place to be, that open bracket at the best of times, but especially here in Orlando at the first Global Open, I mean, you don't want to be caught up in that open bracket.
No, especially if you look across the groups, right? In every group, it feels like there is a favorite, of course, as well as a very good second place team, and then after that, many teams to follow. You have to think about it. Any of these teams that come out of open bracket, they're going to be joining Splyce, Infused, Envious, Oxygen Supremacy, Reciprocity, Straight Rippin', Optic, Renegades, and then on top of that, even more international teams. So these are not going to be easy groups to sneak their way into.
No, definitely not. And there's actually one game that interests me very much, and that's going back to DreamHack Denver. We saw Infused obviously beat Oxygen Supremacy there and Ryan Noob, and there was a little bit of bad blood between the 2 teams, and now we're going to see Vexed and OS in the same pool. So Vexed have been a team who have really kind of shone on the European thing. They've really come to the fore and challenged Infused. They've been genuine contenders to Team Infused, taking home numerous 2Ks, beating them in a lot of scrims. So again, for the people who might not be too aware of European Halo and things that's going on, it's a similar lineup to what we saw at DreamHack Denver, but the addition of Snipe Drone. And Snipe Drone, I mean, he's known ever since the start of the 2016 Halo World Championships, where Epsilon had that fantastic run. So adding him to that lineup really has pushed them to the next level, and I really am looking forward to that one, because it's going to be that kind of EU-NA battle once again.
That's right, 46-26 there's going to be the score on that game. I think that might have been an incorrect score as that pops up, but we're going to go ahead and get underway in just a moment with Splyce and Infuse in that game number 1. It's going to be Strongholds on the rig. Can't wait to get that action going. Of course, many other groups here yet to play, I believe. Still to come today, we're going to see Optic in their group. Lots of Halo action on the main stage still yet to come. I think we have at least 2 more matches today.
Yeah, we do indeed. And just getting a little bit of news from the back there, this first game is going to be a full replay as well. So we're resetting back to 0, starting it all over again. So I'm pretty excited about that. I was enjoying that last game. So we get to see all of the action again, and we get to see these 2 teams battle it out again. But I want to talk about a little bit more about the rest of the series, because that second game we're seeing in this Infused versus Splyce series is going to be Regret Slayer. Right. One that really has separated North American and European teams, in my opinion. Arguably the fastest Slayer game type we have on Halo 5, and one that Europe has really struggled with.
It is such a game type that demands such discipline, right?
Oh, yeah.
Another game types, something maybe like a Truth Slayer, a Coliseum Slayer, there's a few different ways to play it. Regret Slayer is punishing. Make no mistake, you need to be in the right place at the right time. You need to understand how to crash that OS. Very difficult, because you oftentimes have to drop players off of top center to make it happen. It is a game type that if you don't know exactly how you're going to approach your opponent, you're going to lose the game.
Yeah, it's very true, and it's one of those game types as well which really tests a mentality of a team, because there can be situations in the game. You lose that first OS, you go 4 dead. You can find yourself down by about 16 or 17 kills to 2 or 3. Right. But there's always the potential to get back in the game, because you really can have an effective spawn trap in those bases. If you trap a team in red base or blue base and you've got all of those angles covers, then you can pick up back-to-back team kills and team slays, and you can pick up 8 kills without reply.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of classic kind of arena maps with that are power-up dominated in the past, right? You think of Derelict in Halo 1, you think of Warlock in Halo 2, right? These game types where once you get the power-up, top mid control, and the right bases and angles, you can continually collapse on your opponents. You could even say something like a Halo 3 Amplified, right? Where you're just consistently rotating and collapsing on opponents. It can get very punishing, and for that reason, like you said, you can also see some big swings and big comebacks, so that's certainly going to be possible in game number 2. I expect to see Splyce playing that game type so fast, though. The way that these players move is dangerous, but in that game number 1, no clear favorite after about 60 points played. It's going to be a full reset here from 0. We'll see which team is going to be able to close it out. We're loading in now. It's going to be Strongholds on the rig. Yeah,
it's going to be Strongholds on the rig once again. Obviously, the first game of the series after the reset. I'm looking forward to this one once again, a best of 5. Bringing you for this pool play as well. Active camo, respawning every 2 minutes as well. And we saw that shared between the two teams in that first game. Looking to see if either of those teams can really sort of establish some power-up control there as we start this.
All right, now taking a look across, of course, you're going to have an eye on that camo. I'm keeping an eye on exactly who might go for that to drop. You do see it still on your screen. Looks like, I believe it's going to be Renegade who did drop for that, so we'll have to see. I think he's going to be able to stay on the map, but we'll stay here now with Eco and keep you up to date on exactly how Renegade's moving around the bottom of the map. Actually, you see on your screen, Renegade did get taken out, so that first camo is neutralized. I believe it was grabbed a bit late, something that looked around like a 47th.
Kimbo picking up kills as well. Team Infused have one stronghold secured at the moment. As you can see on the radar, another player sneaking on the underpass there, but it looks like decision has been made here by Kimbo to wait for this player to push back out. You can see Respectful, that's Brand. He's going to land a beat down there. Oh my god, it's getting a little bit spooky in here as Kimbo finally takes down Stella, but it is going to be still a stronghold apiece here. Can he finish his shots? No, that's a disappointing battle there from Kimbo. Really should be winning that one, but Eco made him pay as Mose does finish off that kill and get the trade. Shotsy, though, we're popping over to his point of view at the moment because he's got all the toys here, Bravo.
Yes, he does. He will fall, though, Curse of the Caster. So taking a look, it's going to be Mose who comes away with the scatter, and Jimbo on your screen who comes away with the rail. So despite the fact that they have a few points on the board for their opponents, they do come away with the toys.
Yeah, very true. And Mose has the scatter shot as well. And previously mentioned, Mose very effective with that weapon on this sort of close quarter, corner-based map as well. The rig, a lot of angles here. That's going to be 3 dead. Mose, Jimbo, and Respectful all picking up kills. There's going to be another one here. That's a 4 dead here for Team Infused. They're going to turn this into a triple cap. And that's the objective efficiency that impresses me about Infused. As soon as they got those kills, making sure they don't put them to waste, focusing on that objective.
And what we just saw, you saw Jimbo right before he went off the screen, he immediately hit a hard double back, went straight back to this basement base, wanted to make sure that the opponents weren't spawning there. However, Splyce did a great job to collapse on him immediately. You just heard it, they captured basement, so you're still going to see Infused scoring. However, Splyce off the break shuts down the triple cap.
Yeah, they do keep the pressure on though, and I like that because as you can see here, Jimbo's actually managed to steal away with the railgun, which is important. They managed to put the pressure on that spawn, which meant all the players coming off the respawn for Splyce weren't able to get a line of sight on that weapon. Team Infused do have a lead here, but we're going to see the Spartan shots land by Respectful there, but Shotsy takes him down 22-13. Team Infused still with the score.
It's a late camo grab. That one comes from Eco right around the 41 mark. We're going to take a look at his POV. His team is down 24-13, so an even better start from Infused in this game number 1. They're looking strong. However, Eco with camo in hand can turn this around. Right here's a great opportunity for him to do so.
Yeah, kills going down, but not only that, we can see the basement and the nest being turned over to Splyce as well. We see a railgun shot narrowly miss. Eco gives him a little bit of a haircut there, but they are going to take over scoring once again. We can see it's the BR base and the nest in their control at the moment. Not too many shots fired in anger at the moment. Looks like Eco's just looking to use the duration of this camouflage, something that sometimes we see the amateur players not make full use of.
Right, I'm still freaked out about that railgun coming straight across the eyes. You don't get much closer than that without hitting with the rail. Splyce, though, back in the scoring position, but not yet the driver's seat. Great shots there. I believe that was coming in from Kimbo.
And that was 3 kills in a row there for Kimbo as well, and he's picking up the kills where we need to. A team grenade comes in from Jimbo, so they're doing a good job of focusing on these players, making sure they're all aligning their guns or their grenades to those targets. We can see 2 players from Infused. It's actually 1 player from Team Infused going to be in the nest. He's taken down by the grenade, but Kimbo should be in a position to finish that one off. If he can pick up that kill there, it's going to be big as well. Perfect shots for not for the first time from Kimbo once again. again.
So Kimbo did not have a great angle when he was low there in E1, but made sure to stay close by just in case his teammate did not finish the point. He's able to step in and grab it, and they're scoring for a moment, but now they're scoring again. They're up by 3 points.
Yeah, and perfect play there from Kimbo. We saw that Splyce came off the respawn. They pushed for that basement. Kimbo allowed them to get that basement, did not challenge it because he knew that his teammates were coming off the respawn. They were able to pick up the BR base. All he had to do was hold mid-map. They were going to continue scoring, and look at this, respectful. Not only the lead for Team Infused, but he has the scatter shot and that railgun.
Rail and scat are going to get rail ammo as well, and it's already reloaded. Does not hit. See if he can stay alive here. He's able to do so. Teammate does come in. That's Jimbo saving Respectful's life. Excellent job with the perfect just in time.
Yeah, perfect's coming in left, right, and center here from the guys on Infused. They really are making a statement here. Respectful once again choosing not to fire that railgun. He's had lots of bullets, so we can probably see why he's waiting to shoot them, because that's going to be a perfect shot from him. 51 to 31 the score. Team Infused for the first time had that triple cap. They have made it work in their favor, and Respectful's doing a great job here, not challenging kills, making sure not only that he has these weapons, but he's keeping them out of the hands of Splyce.
Yes, he is. I believe that was a camo burn for those of you who watched the railgun shot on Shotzzy. Shotzzy takes another railgun. Unfortunate sequence of events for him, but I believe that was a burn from the other side. Can't finish this kill just yet because all he has is the railgun in hand. But my God, just like you said, it's now about to be 60 to 31. Look at Infused answering once again in this repeat of game number 1. They look even stronger, which I got to say I did not expect to see.
Yeah, doubling up the score. All weapons out of ammo. The second time in 2 games. The first game we saw, I believe it was Stella who didn't have any weapons to work with. Here's a pistol, Brandon. There it is.
From the sky. Got to find it.
Nope.
Needs to. It's over there.
Difficult
He's
to
got
watch.
it on the other side of the dumpster.
Doesn't matter. That Jimbo's picking up kills in the meantime. Respectful.
He's just going to get strongholds for now.
He's just walking around not getting shot.
There's the DMR. That's what he was looking for.
There's Jimbo with another kill. Look at this collapse coming in from Team Infused. As Respectful lands a beat down here. 68 to 33. Team Infused are coming to play.
Oh my, look at this. Some specific words there from Feeling Swank. It's all about who you scrim against. You scrim against crap, you're going to play like crap on stage. Some very selective words there here, of course, from them. And for this match, we'll have to see if it actually ends up being the case in this series. 75 to 33 in favor of Infused.
Yeah, just 25 points away here for Team Infused from taking this game, and not what a lot of people would have expected. But as I say, if you would have watched these guys on this game type, definitely their strongest game type. Now we're seeing Splyce double up on this nest. They're going to get back scoring here once again. And look at the kill feed on your left as well. Renegade and Stella picking up kills. Kimbo's going to be taken down as well eventually, potentially even. I've not seen him pop up in the kill feed, so Kimbo doing a good job of staying alive there. But at least he's not going to be in position to maybe contest one of those strongholds or pick up kills as Jimbo wins another battle against Shotzzy. And when you're perfect in Shotzzy, that's big for Team Infused.
That is real big. Look at that. That's going to give him the opportunity to push into the nest. They're going to be scoring once again, nearly doubling their opponent's score, and Respectful with rail and camo to boot as well. No scatter shot in hand anymore, but might be able to pick up 2. He has help from Mose and another player. My gosh, a really great job from Splyce to collapse, but just as you point out, 86 to 42 with a trip cap here from Infused.
Yeah, this is a scary time here for Splyce. We're seeing Renegade has the railgun. He's picking up a kill or 2, but look at the team fire coming in here from Team Infused. Jimbo and Respectful both picking up kills. 96 to 42 the score. This is going to be perfect timing from Respectful. They do already have 2 of these strongholds in their score. Kimbo picks up a double. It's going to be Team Infused who are going to take game number 1 against Splyce.
Jumping out of their chairs, and you can bet they're happy with that result, 100 to 42. You said it was their best game type, and they've done it here on set. They're going to take game number 1 over Splyce. Of course, one of the teams expected to take this tournament, and what a show from them.
Yeah, and the thing that impressed me most is the amount of individual battles that we saw Team Infused winning in that one. We saw perfects coming in left, right, center. Jimbo, Kimbo, all picking them up as we see the stats on your screen. The man who was dropped, he came back like a phoenix. It was Jimbo. 17 and 15, 17 kills for him. But Kimbo with a 10.6 KDA. Huge game coming in from him.
And that final result in terms of slaying as well is going to be 40 kills for Team Infused, only 30 from Splyce. So not just playing the objective and rotating properly, also outslaying Splyce in this game number 1. And looking at Splyce's track record coming into this event, certainly not what you might have expected.
Yeah, I mean, how many teams do we talk about who outslay Splyce?
Right.
You know, it's a conversation we very rarely have. So Infused really making a statement in that one, and you can't say that they didn't deserve that win. It wasn't a squeaky, you know, it wasn't a squeaky get one of those wins out of the way early on. It was a dominant performance, and the way that they held that triple cap, so impressive. And I mean,
one of the biggest
I
things.
don't want to talk too much. We've got a long way to go, but
one of the biggest things for me is how obnoxious Infused was on staying alive, right? There's all these times when you said, like, just getting away around corners, right? Staying alive with the rail, making sure to bait camo. I mean, how many times do we see someone canceling rail, just hanging around camo, right? Splyce was barely able to even push towards camo because I felt like there was a lot of rail control from the Infused side. And
the thing is, we talk about respectful, not firing too many shots in vain there, but the thing is, when you're on the other side of that, if you go around a corner and you see someone charging that railgun, you have to back down. Yeah, and when you're playing strongholds and you're trying to control a section of the map, if you have that railgun, even if you're not firing it, it cuts off one of those lines of sight for a player. So you keep them back there, they're not going to be scoring.
It's true, right? I think they knew that they had limited angles on which they could push. They had to be selective on kind of the routes they took. And at the end of the day, it felt like Infused had that center of the map held down, right? And any time they were able to pivot, and felt like Splyce was uncharacteristically flying towards objectives and then losing battles as they did it.
Yeah, losing battles was the big thing for me. And when we're going into a Slayer as our next game type on Regret, a lot of focus fire, a lot of 1v1 battles in this one. That really is a positive here for Team Infused. However, I am expecting Splyce to be the favorites in this second game. A lot of individual skill on this team. We've talked about it before. And also very, very good, as we talked about controlling those spawns. When they do get on a roll, 2 or 3 dead, expect to see Splyce pick up a rotation of Slays.
And now here we go. Going to take a look at where this overshield grab is. Keep an eye across all screens. Big battle going down. Bottom middle, of course. And it looks like, I believe that grab is actually going to come in. And I think it is going to go in. It may be a burn, if I'm not mistaken. Down bottom middle, right around the 50 mark. Now on board with Kimbo here. He's down 3-1.
Yeah, it was actually Kimbo who managed to steal away with that one early on, but it looked like Splyce almost gave it up, to be honest with you. Picked up 2 kills, and maybe they went for top control instead. So interesting to see the 2 strategies from the 2 teams countering each other, and it looks that the overshield wasn't too effective because the score is currently just a kill between the 2 teams. We're going to see Mose taken down by the Perfect, as we see Respectful now pushing it out. Kimbo going to come off the respawn here. He's going to clean up this kill. It's a lovely respawn to have, isn't it, when a player just walks into your sights, looking the other way, no shields.
Yes, indeed. Great job by me watching every screen except the actual screen that we were on in terms of who picked up the overshield. 6-6. Thank you, man. 7-6 now in favor of Infused, so it's a very great start for both sides. Like you said, though, Splyce potentially not only could take this game type, but should take this game type. If Infused can win this one, this series could go anywhere. If Splyce wins this, we could see them back to normal form.
Yeah, it's very, very true. We're going to see Stella helping out Shotzzy there. He was flying all over the map, getting some great positioning to land those shots there on that player. He's going to have that plasma pistol as well. When we're talking about that spawn trap, if you have this plasma pistol exactly where Shotzzy is and you're watching those spawns at the back of red base and the back of blue base, it's difficult enough when someone's got the height advantage and that pistol looking at you. When they've got a plasma pistol flying towards you as well and your shields are gone before you can even, yawn and wake up a little bit off the respawn, you're going to be in trouble.
Yes, indeed. 13-10 in favor of Splyce. Looking quite good here, but not sitting comfortably just yet. Jimbo, perfect shots. Once again, he's been shooting great all day. Look at this, and then forcing players up top middle. Love what I'm seeing from Jimbo.
Yeah, the interesting thing there is we saw a perfect from Jimbo there. Then we saw Eco with a perfect in the kill feed as well. So not many players on this game at the moment are missing too many shots, but we are seeing Splyce now starting to eke away ever so slightly. We can see in the kill feed, we're seeing 2-for-1 exchanges, and now the score at 17-12. This next overshield is going to be pretty important, and Kimbo looks like he has an idea of that time. Coach Havoc doing a good job. Team Infused do steal that one away. Yep. That's a big play for them.
Indeed, that was going to be a Jimbo grab. I believe he still has a bit of overshield as well. You saw actually them sending Jimbo and Kibbo onto the overshield platform itself. Whether it was intentional or not, they were pretty much guaranteed that overshield. So like I said, great job from Havoc to make sure that his team is on top of that. And look at the swing. Now they're tied up 18-18, just like that.
Yeah, just like that. We're going to see 3 dead for Splyce as well. So an opportunity here for Team Infused to really extend a lead potentially. When you have 3 players coming off the respawn, so difficult to get any sort of map control and establish something. We can see unorthodox play here. We saw Renegade pushing Pink 1 here to try and just get out to maybe throw a blip up on the radar just so some players turn away from that base respawn. But we're going to see Stella now taking down Jimbo. Jimbo's not going to be looking. 21-21. Mose is going to clean that one up. Another perfect coming in from a Team Infused member. I mean, if you're on Splyce, you can't miss many shots at the moment.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is not maybe the match that Splyce expected. I bet with the talent on this roster, they were expecting to have to work hard for this victory, but maybe not as hard as they are now. They're right now, here we are tied 24-23, Splyce up by 1 in this game, and it has not been easy for them.
Yeah, it's not been easy so far, but Splyce do have that lead, and this is where I expect them to maybe show a little bit of that experience, maybe look to extend this one. We always talk about, it's a famous thing that Sundance here at MLG, you know, that 30 kill mark, that's where a Slayer really starts, and it still rings true in Halo 5 as well. We can see it right now. 27 to 25, just 2 kills between the two teams, but that overshield's going to be coming up in around a 40 seconds or so, and we can see now, if they get that one, Splyce, it's going to be a huge kill swing.
And Eco continuing to win battles like that you just saw top middle, where he really shouldn't have gotten away with that and is able to dodge and stay away. But at the same time, Kimbo hitting another perfect, keeping his team in the game. Yeah,
Kimbo's feeling himself at the moment. It's just star central for him. Stella going to be bottom mid at the moment. Another perfect comes in from Renegade. 30 to 26 the score. Just 4 kills the difference between these two teams. They're going to collapse here onto Jimbo, and it looks like they're now setting up for that overshield. Bang, there it is. Into the hands, into the chest of Stella. He's going to have that extra layer of protection now. 31 to 28, as we can see a tweet coming in here from Serpio HCS.
Serpico HCS. Great to see Halo back. Love seeing all the OGs of Halo competing, casting, and in chat. Good luck to all the teams. Serpico could not have said it better myself. So great to be here back in an MLG venue. I tell you what, from everyone, from the players, the cast, the crew in back, making this show possible. Many people I haven't seen here, some in 5, some in 10 years. So great to be back here with the team for the Halo World Championship. But as we said all that, Splyce has ran away 37 to 29, an 8-kill lead here. Yeah, exactly what I was worried might happen for Team Infused here. Splyce have taken advantage of every advantage they have been given. Look at the kill feed now as well. Jimbo is desperately just trying to stay alive, knows that his radar is lighting up like a beacon, and 40 to 29 to score. You have to remember, around that 30 kill mark, two teams were pretty much tied up neck and neck. It was that overshield that Stella managed to get away, and now we're seeing an 11-kill swing as Kimbo's going to be taken down as well. Just the 8 kills now to go for Splyce to tie up the series 1-1. This is looking pretty good for them. These are collapses that you're talking about, right? It's so difficult to fight out of your base when you have 3, sometimes 4 players just having eyes on exactly where you're spawning. 44 to 32, they're sitting pretty comfortable, only 6 kills until they close this out. Yeah, 6 kills to go, 6 minutes 30 on the clock as well, so plenty of time to work with here for the guys on Splyce. And again, we're going to see Shotzzy for the second time in this game with that plasma pistol. 2 kills do fall to his teammates as well. Jimbo answers back, but they're going to be dropping bottom mid, just hunting down these kills. We can see Shotzzy working with a teammate below, trying to clear out that red base. 2 kills to go here. Team Infused, I think it's time to say, yeah, maybe we didn't win this one. I think right here, Shotzzy will likely get taken down, but might be a little bit too late from the Infused side. They do get 36 here on the board. Only 2 kills to go there for Splyce. You can be sure they're going to close this out as they now have control of top middle. They're going to only 1 more kill to go. Stella's missing loads of shots there, but finally hits the important one to take down Jimbo top mid. Splyce are going to win. Regret Team Slayer there, and they're going to tie up the series at 1-1. That was a dominant performance, and all around that 30 kill overshield. And you're not going to see much emotion from the Splyce side, as you just saw in that down the line shot. Not much smiles or laughs or even fist pounds or handshakes, because they know that this is a series they should be closing out. They know Regret Slayer is a game they should be winning, and often signs of a championship team, right? Not getting excited about the wins that they feel like they should have without a problem. Yeah, it's very true, as we see the stats as well. Stella having a big game there. 18 kills from B, 6 assists and 11 deaths to go alongside that. Every single player there on Renegade, Renegade. Every single player there on Splyce are going a positive. On the other side, not looking too good for Team Infused. Only Kimbo putting up a positive KDA there, but Splyce, that was what I expected them to see. We talked about how EU have had some struggles on the map. Splyce looked very, very good, very efficient when they got that control, and obviously that overshield control towards the end really did swing it. Right, you got to give credit to Infused until about, what, the 28 kill mark is where they were neck and neck with them. They even had a lead early on in the match. The overshield grabs were good contested. Like you said, Kimbo with that first grab as well off the break. But right around that 30 kill mark is where Splyce decided, once you get 3 kills unanswered again, right, the game starts to pull away. And Infused didn't necessarily lose the entire game towards the end. I think they really just lost the middle of that game, right around the 30 kill mark. You go down by 7 or 8 right there, and the game has essentially run away. If Splyce is into the 40s while you're in the low 30s, it's not looking good. It's an interesting thing as well. It talks about how Regret can kind of be one that is kind of a psychological map as far as the Slayer is concerned, because you imagine being down by 7 or so at the start of that game. It seems very different towards being down around 7 or so, around that 30 kill mark in the game. It certainly is.
Arguably, you're saying you've still got as many kills to get back in the game, but because you think you're closer to losing the game, you start playing a little bit differently. You start maybe playing a little bit slower, not going for the kills you might have before, and before you know it, you're 5 to 10 to 15 kills down, and the game's gone.
Certainly, you do start to change things, especially against a team like Splyce when they're that close to winning. Splyce will win game number 2, 50-37. So convincing wins from both sides of the stage here in games 1 and 2. We're going to head into CTF Truth. Very fast-paced Slayer game type, and right now I'd say based on our first 2 game sims, this one could certainly, this could certainly go either way.
It's very true. We are both ginger, but I am the better-looking one. But never mind. Capture the Flag on Truth is going to be our game number 3, and this is an interesting one as well because both of these teams are going to play this one pretty orthodox. We're going to look into those flag runs towards the pink side of the map. We're going to be looking to both teams to look for those flag runs, maybe through the car bubble if they have that one blocked as well. So it's going to be a case of maybe those individual battles and being objectively efficient as well. That early, I'm not sure if anyone picked up that early camo, but it's actually going to be Jimbo.
It is, yeah, a great switch there from Wonderboy in the back. I have to say, Jimbo got the early camo grab, and we were on board with Stellar. You might have noticed he's actually just standing still, watching camo, staring straight at Pink 1 to see any flicker of camo to be able to call that out to his team. But Jimbo had actually already made top middle move, and here he is going to try to make a run. He does get taken down.
Yeah, he gets taken down, but Mose is going to trade that kill out as well. It looks like Infused are looking to maybe pick up a round of slays before they do go for the run on that flag. Renegade does win his battle against Mose, so that's going to be a dead flag there. Good defense coming in from Splyce as we go on board with Shotzzy, and that's going to be 2 dead now in reply from Splyce. And look at this, a flag immediately running. Shotzzy has the cut off top car. Those 2 players are going to be taken down to no shield. They are going for the overextension. Eco picks up the kills though. Stellar is going to run this one home for Splyce. He's going to thrust forward, put that one in, and that is the difference in objective efficiency between the 2 teams.
That's beautiful. Also, I love the POV selection there from Wonderboy once again. Thank you for showing Shotzzy top middle. Pre-nading car 3 and 2 players run into both those nades. If you have your first 2 leading players have shields flying in, they're going to lose the battle. Splyce is now running another flag.
Yeah, this is another flag, and if we can get around this corner, it's going to be 2-0. Back-to-back flags here for Splyce. They're starting to warm up a little bit here on the main stage at Orlando. Kimbo, though, coming off his spawn on the car, decided to overextend, but that just looks like a little bit of desperation here. To me, it looks like Infused maybe a little bit shook that they're down 2-0 so quickly.
That's my kind of flagpole on a midship flag. Just just going to toss this out and hope that something happens here, but not going to be the case. We're going to stay at 2-0. Infused, though, with a chance to reset. Jimbo head on a swivel. Very heads-up play to make sure he cleans up the first. He's also going to pick up the second. So Jimbo, if he can keep making plays like that at his base, a bit of confusion, I think, might have helped him out there from both sides. But if he's able to do things like that, he's going to give his team opportunities to push out and make some plays.
Yeah, spinning around like that reminds me of your moves on the dance floor, Andy, but less of that. Let's move on as Jimbo picks up a kill there on Stellar. That's going to be 3 dead here for Splyce. So this is the first opportunity we've seen for arguably a clean flag cap. That player is going to come off the respawn, but I love that angle, that run. By going in towards the window, then into the pink attic, what Jimbo does there is he avoids those players coming off the respawn. His teammate is going to help him out as well, but he is going to be taken down, and that's the difference between the 2 teams so far.
Yeah, I love that angle too. It's a great move to fake the front run and then quickly get up into the window, but Splyce they answer back very well right away. They push up, lots of help, and they're able to clean out the needle area, and looks dangerous. They did just get 1 kill. If they can rack up another, we might see a pull here.
Very, very true. We're going to see Eco pick up the kill there as his teammate started that one off. Double kill now for Eco, taking down Jimbo. It looks like Renegade is going to block that bubble spawn as he picks up the last player who was in the car bubble there, but Respectful does get that kill. So important because, of course, Team Infused just 1 flag cap away now from losing this game and going down 2-1 in the series. So little plays like that really can just shape a series potentially, because if they're down 2-1, they're just 1 game away from losing this series.
Oh man, staying alive there, but it looks like actually Splyce played it very well. I believe we have this flag about to go in. Yes, indeed, that's going to be a cap, and it's going to be a quick 3-0 win from Splyce in that game type. Heads-up play from Splyce, just like you said. It was a very good play from Respectful to stop that flag run, but Splyce, they don't panic. Right? They just slay 1 or 2 extra players. Whoever's spawning up can either grab the flag if they spawn there on car, or a player can decide to rotate and fill in, and then Splyce not panicking at all to secure that 3-0 win.
Yeah, and interesting to see there 2 of those flag caps actually being run car side of the map there from Splyce. And it was actually a point I was going to bring up a little bit before this map got underway. It was something that Infused have struggled with over in Europe, is when they do have players like a Ramirez, for example, who's been playing against them on this Maestro lineup, and when he's the kind of player that gets behind you and goes for unorthodox flag pulls, they struggle sometimes to communicate that, as we can see the stats on our screen there. But if they really do struggle with that unorthodox play style. If it's orthodox, they know what they're looking for, they can pick up their kills, but as you can see there, Splyce taking that one 3-0 in next to no time, and the kills, I mean, they're all in the favor of the yellow.
Right, you have to say, Infused able to put up a little bit of fight towards the end of the game, right? It wasn't an immediate 3-0. They also did have a run or 2, but it seemed like Splyce was the dominant team in that game and on that game type. We'll have to see exactly what happens here. I believe it's going to be, I think, Eden Stronghold is next, and then a Coliseum Slayer in game number 5.
I believe so.
Actually, excuse me, I believe it's an Empire Stronghold in this next
Coliseum.
game. But pretty wild considering you have a Regret Slayer, a Truth Flag, followed by an Empire Stronghold. You couldn't ask for a set of 3 faster game types. So for Infused, it's quite a challenge to play against a team that is arguably the fastest playing team with these young guns, the way they fly around the map. Now they got to play them on Stronghold's Empire. They've lost the last 2 fast-paced game types. We'll see what happens here, game number 4.
Yeah, interestingly, and on the paradox to what we've seen as well, this is one of Infused's strongest games, another strong game type here for Team Infused. So yeah, we've seen them lose 2 fast-paced game types there in Truth and Regret, but weirdly, they're actually pretty good at Empire Stronghold. So they do have a chance to maybe send this one to a game 5. We're going to start it off with Respectful because he's always battling for that overshield, but the first kill in the team fight goes down to Eco. Mo's answers back, and now we're going to see Jimbo playing lead blocker, and I love seeing that from Infused, just allowing a Respectful, and that's a selfless play from Jimbo, something that maybe doesn't come up in the stats, but comes up in the Ws.
Yes, indeed. It's going to lead to, like you said, this Respectful grab. Jimbo able to push all the way in, and Respectful just able to kind of fall back there as able to stay alive with just, looks like overshield pinged all the way off.
Yeah, and by Respectful causing such a distraction there, he was pinning all those players back in the base. I'm surprised to see that Team Infused didn't actually manage to get control of that pit stronghold. So slight misplay there coming in from Infused, but good plays here from Splyce to answer back and stop that opportunity to score. And we're seeing, we're a minute into the game so far, still no points on the board, showing that on Strongholds, finally, Splyce do get scoring, but on Strongholds, these 2 teams seem to be very well evenly matched.
And Eco playing all of this so well, very crafty nade back into Turbine, waits for opponent to push out, then also engages with a player, 2 players in front base window, might even turn 2 here, not able to do so, but look at that, Eco, if you just watch that 1, 2, 3, 4, involved in the taking down all 4 of his opponents, that's going to let them continue scoring.
Yeah, Shotzi is the key player here. He actually gives this one up. Team Infused do manage to steal that pit away, but it's all about the kills now, because if Shotzi can pick up a couple of kills here, might be the opportunity to recapture that one. But he's doing so much damage at the moment. The barrel helps out Eco take down Respectful. He's going to finish this kill, and now we're going to see Splyce immediately move into that bottom mid stronghold. That pit stronghold going to be turned over almost immediately, so pretty much no damage done there for Splyce. But do the Infused actually come in and get the reset? They don't. It's going to be turned over to Splyce, so no damage done. They're going to be scoring once again.
Yeah, it's a bit desperate there, but it looks like a few players, of course, Infused are down, so it's going to let the team Splyce here push out even more, but still a close game here, despite the fact that it has looked like Splyce has dominated from the middle. Look at the score, only 13-9, so we're still neck and neck.
Yeah, very, very true, and we're going to see Kimbo here be finally taken down. Kills traded for both teams. Jimbo, noticing that 2 dead, immediately prioritizing that objective once again, something that he does so well as a player. Going to decide to jump out. Not sure if a teammate might have been there to potentially have helped him out, but he looks like he's moving outside because that overshield's going to be popping. Fantastic switching once again. Mose is going to be the one who has this power up in his hand this time, and now we're going to see him do some damage. Respectful's doing some damage, but Twitter, that's coming under some damage as well, as we're seeing some tweets come in from home.
All right, Lord Noma YouTube here says, could not wait for this Splyce and Team Infused matchup. Definitely not disappointed. Us neither. Lord Noma, it's been a great series so far. Splyce leading 2-1, potentially with the scoreline looking as it is. Could close this out in one more game, but Infused not giving up, not going to let it happen early. But just as we said, it was 14-9. It's now 33-9 with an out-of-control triple cap from Splyce.
Yeah, and the time it takes to read a tweet.
Second time
winning games. Respectful now going to be taken down as well. The score really did escalate here, as we saw strangely as well, because it must have been the camera that maybe got into the hands of a Splyce player, because we saw Mose get that overshield. Jimbo going to be working towards the bottom mid now, does win a battle, so Team Infused might have an advantage in numbers on the map at the moment. As you can see a radar above him, there is a player in the tower who will be looking to maybe wait and challenge that pit stronghold at the last moment while his teammates come off the respawn. Exactly what he's doing here, but Infused, now they're going to have a triple cap. How effective can they be with this control in compared to Splyce?
Something strange is a foot onset. The second time we pulled up, the guys in the back had pulled up a tweet on screen, and Splyce has ran away with the lead. If you're a fan of Infused here, you're hoping for no more tweets during
the series. Stop
tweeting. 43-16 is the score. Like you said, Infused able to rally some more points back on the board, but Splyce in the driver's seat once again.
Yeah, they are, but Infused are making moves on that pit again. Kimbo trying to get the trade off there. That would have been a big trade, but the kill is going to be traded out. I think it was actually a teammate that came in, as we saw Kimbo did pick up the kill. That's going to be 3 dead here for Splyce. Splyce. Looking for the ground pound, actually misses it, so that's going to be not good news because Respectful is made to pay by Stella here. Kimbo can't finish off the kill, but the reset does come in on the pit. But it just seems so scrappy from these teams at the moment. Team Infused seem to be having to work so hard to just even get some points on the board.
I got to point out once again, you just saw... Oh,
hello.
Okay. Kimbo there did not expect a player to come in there, so he actually gets an accidental stick, I think, on another opponent, but it's going to be a Splyce overshield this time around. 47-28 is the score, but I have to point out, you just saw Kimbo and Turbine. He and a teammate got naded. I immediately looked to see where that nade came from. Sure enough, it was Eco here front red using that same nade to nade people out of Turbine. That's the second time we've seen that be effective.
Yeah, the overshield going to be effective as well because look at the swarm coming in from Splyce here. 49-31 the score, the reset coming in on the red base, and you can see that ticker as well. Players from Splyce moving in towards that pit, looking to turn that stronghold over into their control. But even with that overshield, 53-31 the score, not too out of hand here for Team Infused. We talked about strongholds, how you can have big swings in scores in the game. You're never out of this game type. Infused need to keep that in mind, otherwise they're going to find themselves losing the series.
Yeah, lots of activity at Turbine. Just like you say, Onset, it could very easily be 58-9 if Infused had not been rallying back and stealing as many points as they can and getting those on the board. But right now, it's looking a bit too easy for Shotzzy and Splyce. No pressure on him in quite a while as these battles have really transpired over blue and tower.
Yeah, that kill feed's not good if you're an Infused fan as well. It's very nice, though, if you're a Splyce fan. That's going to be pretty much 4 or 5 kills unanswered for Splyce. Jimbo, please win this battle. He doesn't, actually, because that was just Shotzzy showing some circusy sort of stuff there, showing that plasma pistol off long range, showing that it can't just be used for close range battles, land those beatdowns. He finishes it off with a pistol as well, and now he's going to be pushing on the triple cap. Finally Infused do stop the bleeding, but 75-32 again. Splyce, when it matters, Eco hits perfect, and there it is, the extra bullets into the body. They could be heard back home in Europe, North America reigning supreme.
Look at that, 80 points on the board with a trip cap to 32, so Splyce sitting pretty. Infused is going to have to really pull out a special trick to get back in this game with a deficit like this. We saw it happen in the first game with Reciprocity, but a much taller order here against a team like Splyce.
Yeah, we are going to see the camo available, though. I'm not sure if anyone from Team Infused was alive as we saw Eco available to pick that one up. I'm not sure if they actually did, but Infused are going to turn over some scoring here, so it's not quite finished yet. Shotzzy did actually get control of the camouflage there, but Team Infused, they are still in this game. 89-35, they are scoring. Now we're going to see the battle between the two power-ups. Respectful did land a beatdown and takes down Shotzzy. So Respectful takes the camo player out of the game, as well as keeping the overshield. It was actually Kimbo, sorry, apologies there, who has the overshield. Look at this now, Team Infused, their never say die attitude. And what we learned about teabagging in the past, never do it till the game's over.
That's right. You want to wait till that game is all but over, and it might have been a bit too early because it's still a trip cap in effect for the guys here on Infused. They finally will lose one, but still, of course, scoring. That battle of the two power-ups was a big one, like you said. Respectful taking down Shotzzy, who had the camo.
Splyce have just played this absolutely perfectly. They didn't contest that pit. They went for both of the side bases. Stella making the distraction play. His teammate coming in at the perfect moment to turn it into a triple cap. They capture the pit. Stella picks up a kill. Shotzi's 360 all over the place at the moment. It's gonna